The RMS Titanic, a majestic feat of engineering, embarked on its maiden voyage in April 1912. This grand vessel, hailed as the unsinkable ship, was more than just a mode of transport. It was a floating microcosm of society, reflecting the stark divisions between the haves and the have-nots. The luxurious lifestyles of the first-class passengers stood in stark contrast to the struggles faced by those in third class. This essay delves into the lives of those aboard the Titanic, exploring the vast disparities in their experiences and the tragic impact of the disaster that unfolded on that fateful night. The Titanic's passengers represented a cross-section of society, from the wealthiest tycoons to impoverished immigrants seeking a better life. First-class passengers, the elite of the era, enjoyed unparalleled luxury and opulence. In contrast, third-class passengers faced cramped conditions, limited amenities, and an uncertain future. The Titanic's tragic fate served as a harsh reminder of the social inequalities that permeated society at the time. The disaster that struck the Titanic on April 15, 1912, had a disproportionate impact on third-class passengers. Their access to lifeboats was hindered by locked gates, language barriers, and misinformation. The chaotic evacuation highlighted the stark reality of social stratification, with tragic consequences for those relegated to the lower decks. The Titanic's legacy extends far beyond the tragic events of that night. It serves as a poignant reminder of the human stories that unfolded on board, both grand and ordinary. It compels us to remember the victims, acknowledge the social disparities of the time, and reflect on the lessons learned from this maritime tragedy. Stepping onto the first-class deck of the Titanic was akin to entering a floating palace. The opulence and grandeur were breathtaking. Passengers were greeted by interiors adorned with plush carpets, gleaming chandeliers, and intricate woodwork. It was a world designed for indulgence and leisure, a testament to the extravagant lifestyles of the era's elite. The first-class accommodations were nothing short of palatial. Staterooms were more akin to luxurious hotel suites, complete with private bathrooms, sitting areas, and even fireplaces in the most expensive cabins. The cost of these opulent accommodations was exorbitant, with some suites fetching prices equivalent to tens of thousands of dollars in today's currency. Among the first-class passengers were some of the most prominent figures of the time. John Jacob Astor IV, one of the wealthiest men in the world, was traveling with his pregnant wife. Benjamin Guggenheim, the mining magnate, and Isidore Straus, co-owner of Macy's department store, were also among the notable passengers. These individuals moved in a world of privilege and influence, their lives a testament to the era's excesses. Life on board the Titanic for first-class passengers was an endless round of leisure and entertainment. Days were spent indulging in gourmet meals, socializing in elegant lounges, and taking part in various recreational activities. The ship boasted a swimming pool, a gymnasium, a squash court, and even a Turkish bath, catering to the every whim of its wealthy passengers. Dining was an extravagant affair, with meals served in the opulent first-class dining saloon. Passengers feasted on a lavish menu featuring multiple courses of French cuisine, prepared by experienced chefs. The dining experience was accompanied by live music and impeccable service, further enhancing the air of sophistication and indulgence. Evenings were dedicated to entertainment and social gatherings. Passengers could enjoy live music performances, attend dances held in the grand ballroom, or try their luck at the ship's casino. The atmosphere was one of gaiety and merriment, as passengers from the upper echelons of society mingled and reveled in the lap of luxury. Section 4. Beyond the Gilded Cage, Glimpses of Humanity. While the first-class experience was defined by its extravagance, it was not devoid of human stories and personal connections. Behind the facade of wealth and privilege, there were glimpses of love, loss, and the complexities of human relationships. One such story is that of Isidore and Ida Straus, an elderly couple who chose to face their fate together. As the ship sank, Ida refused to leave her husband's side, opting to stay with him until the very end. Their story, a testament to their enduring love, transcended the boundaries of social class and resonated deeply with people worldwide. The sinking of the Titanic also revealed acts of courage and selflessness among the first-class passengers. Molly Brown, a socialite from a working-class background, famously rallied fellow passengers and crew members to help others board lifeboats. Her bravery and determination earned her the moniker the unsinkable Molly Brown. These stories serve as a reminder that even amidst tragedy, human compassion and resilience can shine through. Section 5. The other side of the coin, third-class realities. In stark contrast to the opulence of first class, the third-class experience on the Titanic was one of stark realities and modest means. While the Titanic's third-class accommodations were considered an improvement over those offered on other ships of the time, they were a far cry from the luxurious surroundings enjoyed by the elite. Third-class passengers were housed in cramped quarters, often sharing cabins with strangers. Families were sometimes separated, with men, women, and children assigned to different sections of the ship. While the quarters were kept clean and sanitary, they lacked privacy and personal space. The majority of third-class passengers were immigrants from various countries, including Ireland, England, Scandinavia, and parts of Eastern Europe. They were united by their hopes for a better life in America, seeking opportunities for work, education, or reuniting with family. Many traveled with all their worldly possessions, their dreams and aspirations packed alongside their meager belongings. Section 6. A stark contrast, amenities and access. The disparities between first and third class extended beyond accommodations to encompass access to amenities and even information. While first-class passengers enjoyed a plethora of leisure activities and entertainment options, third-class passengers had limited access to such luxuries. Third-class passengers had their own designated dining facilities, but the food was simple and the service more utilitarian than what was offered in first class. Their entertainment options were limited to socializing with fellow passengers, playing cards, or listening to music provided by fellow travelers. Perhaps most critically, communication barriers and misinformation hampered third-class passengers' understanding of the situation as the Titanic began to sink. Many did not speak English, making it difficult to understand the crew's instructions or comprehend the gravity of the situation. This lack of information and access to accurate updates had tragic consequences, contributing to the higher casualty rate among third-class passengers. Section 7. A tragedy remembered, the enduring legacy. The sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. The tragedy shocked the world, not only for the sheer scale of the loss of life, but also for exposing the stark social inequalities of the time. The disaster served as a harsh reminder that privilege often trumped human life, a reality that resonated deeply with people across the globe. In the aftermath of the disaster, investigations and inquiries led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations. These included requirements for sufficient lifeboats for all passengers and crew, mandatory lifeboat drills, and the establishment of a 24-hour radio watch to monitor distress signals. The sinking of the Titanic, while tragic, ultimately led to crucial improvements in maritime safety standards. The Titanic continues to captivate the imagination, inspiring countless books, films, and documentaries. The stories of those who were on board, both the victims and the survivors, serve as a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of human connection. The disaster also compels us to confront the uncomfortable truths about social inequality and the importance of ensuring the safety and well-being of all individuals, regardless of their social standing.